It's okay for us to accept money in a way that supports other people.
I want to change lives. I want to show people how to progress in their money. I want to show people how to progress in their mindset. I want to show people how to progress in their brand so that way they can take care of their family, take care of their finances, and experience freedom.
Welcome to the page. I'm glad you made it. First and foremost, I want to welcome you to the Strategic Income Growth Training. And in this training, when we talk about money, money is a topic that for some people is exciting, and I can spend money on anything. I could buy whatever it is that I want. And for some people, money's like, oh no, we don't want to go there. Let's not talk about money. And I get to share with you, before we go into how we make more, we get to focus in on our mindset. We get to care for our mindset of how we look at money. So by the end of this video, what I really want you to do, and all I'm going to do is share with you, what I really want you to do is have an open-minded mindset that money is okay. It's okay to have money. A few years ago, I actually had what we call wealth guilt, where I felt guilty if I made money because I know that there was people suffering. And then it was when I realized that there's people suffering and I can help those people if I make money. Then I changed my mentality and I said, look, I gotta make all the money in the world, as much money as I possibly can, as I continue to grow my business and as I continue to grow my brand. So we get to understand how money affects us, and we get to understand how money affects the world. The first thing that we need to do with money is accept it, because we need cash, right? At the end of the day, cash is necessary. So the number one thing is to accept money. Boom. Accept money. Accept money for what it is. Money is a piece of paper which has a representative value of that is common throughout currencies. So we have a $10 bill, and based on that bill, piece of paper, they write the number 10 in a way that you can't duplicate it, or it's illegal to duplicate it, and they write the number 10 and they say that is worth 10, and that is money. And then they do the same thing for a $100 bill, literally on the same piece of paper. They change the color of the dye that goes onto the paper, and then instead of 10, they write 100, and now that is 100. And the same thing they do there for a 20 and on a $1 bill. It's all the same paper. I don't know if you've ever known, but paper, the $100 bill has the same exact weight as a $10 bill. Same paper, same thing, same concept, same idea. It just has a representative value of that cash amount. So if it's $10, then it's 10. If it's 100, then it's 100. If it's 20, then it's 20. If it's 5, it's 5. So we get to first understand that we can accept cash. It's okay for us to accept money in a way that supports other people and ourselves. It's actually, to me, it's one of the most selfish things for you to have a mindset where you just make enough money just for yourself. So I'm going to share that belief with you, that if you make just enough money just for you, you're living in what I call a standard. Your standard is X. So if we look at what's available, let's look at what's available as far as living experiences. So if we were to put a dollar amount, let's put, $1 trillion. $1 trillion at the top, okay? Then let's just put here for giggles, let's put $1 billion. 1 billion. And then here, we're gonna put 1 million. So you got 1 trillion, 1 billion, 1 million. And let's say for giggles, this is all within a 12-month time span. So in 1 year, income of 1 trillion, income of 1 billion, income of 1 million. Now, we get to choose our standard in a year's time frame. So some people, their standard may be here. And let's call that standard, I'm just gonna kind of color it in right here. They get to choose their standard. And let's say, for example, in this standard, here you have $50,000, $50K. $50,000 in a year. that person gets to choose their standard. And in their standard, they get to have certain experiences because of that standard. So their experience may be, they may have an apartment, okay? They may have an apartment. They may be able to buy food from local restaurants, buy food locally. They may be able to travel one time per year, and that's their standard. They may have a 10-year-old car, and that's their standard. So based on their income, it allows them to live a certain standard in their life, such as have an apartment, buy food locally, travel one time a year, and have a 10-year-old car. However, on another note, another individual may have a standard who is right here. Let's just say, up here, and I'm gonna color that in. Boom, boom. So this green over here represents also the red. So they make well over they make well over $50,000. So in this example, let's just say this standard is $500,000, 500K. So this is 50, this is 500K. And now in this standard over here, in the 500K, person may be able to travel 12 times a year. They buy organic food from the grocery store, the expensive kind. And then they also have a new car of the year. How you spell car? I'm just playing. They have a new car, and let's say that they buy exotic foods. So they do a lot of eating out. They do a lot of eating out, and they make 500 grand a year. You get to really choose it, and you can go up and up and up and have different experiences. You could hit the $1 billion mark, and your travel is with private jets. This group, the 50K standard, when they travel once a year, they may have to fly a coach. The 500K flies, they fly, not private, but they fly first class. Because they say, hey man, I'm not doing less than first class. I'm not doing less than, I gotta travel every single month. If I don't travel every single month, I feel like I'm not alive. Some people may say that. Some people say, hey man, I gotta eat organic food. My apples have to come from here and they have to be organic. And look, I gotta have the new technology in my car. There's no question about it. I gotta have the new technology in my car, so that's why I buy a new car every year. And hey man, I love food. I'm a foodie, so I eat out. So these two people have different standards. So you get to really choose what your standard is in your life. And you get to make a choice today. It's kind of in a way that is daunting, it's kind of scary, but in what we really create here in Audate Enterprises, in my company, and what we really create in our environment is a standard of continuous progression where we get to progress on a daily basis, where we continually progress. Now, if you're progressing on a daily basis, that means by the end of the year, you are not the same. I have a program called the 2% Club. And in the 2% Club, it's a monthly program. It's a 12-month program. And for 12 months, you literally get an accountability coach who pushes you to elevate your standard. So if you elevate your standard, you're essentially elevating your income. And if you elevate your income and your standard, you're elevating your experience of life. So you get to experience life in a more abundant way. And I do that through my 2% Club, where our coaches, our dedicated assignment coaches, focus on honing in on what your goals are, elevating your goals, and making sure to hold you accountable on a weekly basis. If you're interested, be sure to let us know about your interest in the 2% Club. So now, you first get to choose what standard you want to live in, and you get to be realistic. There's a program that I have on goal setting and being clear on your targets and 100% clear on what you want to accomplish with your goals. So here, when you're choosing your standard, you must have a by any means, whatever it takes mentality. So write this down, BAMWIT, BAMWIT, by any means, whatever it takes. If you have a by any means, whatever it takes mentality, then what essentially happens is you choose your standard that you are willing to work for. Now, remember I said not willing to want. What are you willing to work for? Are you willing to make $500, $500,000 a year? Are you willing to make $1 million? Are you willing to do the work that it takes to make $1 billion a year? So you get to choose your standard, and your work ethic is essentially choosing your standard. So I want you to write this down. Work ethic, WORKETIHETHI equals income. And by your work ethic, you're essentially saying, hey, this is what my standard of living is. Hey, man, I just want to work a 9 to 5. I don't want to think about work when I'm not at work, and I don't want to be an entrepreneur. Hey, that's okay. Nothing's wrong with that, but understand this is what your standard is. And if you're going to go through this program, which, you're in this program for a reason, your first mentality has to say, hey, I'm willing to change my income growth. I want to change my income. In order for me to change my income, I need to change my work ethic. So it starts with our work ethic. It says, hey, how am I using my time, my 24 hours? How am I using that in a way that is providing me with more income? If you have an opportunity to make more income, but you don't increase your work ethic to support yourself in that income, you are therefore saying, I'm okay with my standard. So you have to really say, are you okay with your standard? And if you're okay with your standard, then hey, stop the video. Stop, there's no reason for you to continue on to this training, because this training is focused on people making more income, changing their standard, going from coach and traveling 1 time a year to first class and traveling 12 times a year. This is having a 10-year-old car versus having a new car. If you're okay with that, if you're okay with your current standard, then don't continue this training. If you want to increase your standard and change your standard, then that's why you're in this training. Now, if you remember in the beginning of the video, I was talking about understanding that you can support other people. So if I want to maintain this standard of 500K, if I want to maintain the standard, but I want to support other people, essentially what I need to do is increase my level of income. So this is my level of income increase, the blue, right? In this example. So you got red at 50K level, and then you got green at 500K, and then you got the blue at $1 million. Now, proportionally, I know it's not correct, but you understand the concept, right? And in the $1 million standard, essentially what's happening is you're lowering your living expenses to not be at $1 million, but to be at 500K, living this lifestyle right here. However, using the difference in the money to support other people. So if you can support other people with your ability to acquire income and acquire finances, then you can literally support other people in changing the world. So I tell people to get out of their standard. So, hey, your standard is a $500,000. Get out of your standard. Surpass your standard and literally put yourself in a position where you're not focused on, hey, I gotta pay rent. You're focused on how can I pay for these 10 kids to go to school, or what do I need to do to allow the homeless people to have a home? What do I need to do? So selfish is staying in your standard. So you must get out of your standard in order to help other people. Our shift goes from inwards outwards. Inward is saying that I need to make more money so I can fly first class, so I can travel 12 times a year, so I can buy organic food. That's inward focus. Now, when we look at results and who produces the most results, it has been proven that if you focus outward, that your results are to increase by over 72.5%. Over 72%, you're going to increase your odds of actually winning and beating poverty by focusing out. So focusing in says, I want more money so I can fly first class, so I can travel 12 times a year and have organic food and buy a new car. Focusing out says, I want more money so I can, let me put a note here. I want more money in a year's time frame so I can pay for 10 kids' schools. Pay for 10 kids' schools. Donate 100K. donate 100K to Make-A-Wish Foundation. That's just an example. And help 5 homeless have homes. So your focusing out says, I can now, if I focus out, I gotta make $1 million, not for me, but to pay 10 kids to go to school, donate $100,000, help someone who's homeless have a new home. So essentially, what we're actually doing is we're shifting the mindset from focusing in of I need to make more money to fly first class, and so on and so forth. I need to focus out on other people. My company did not grow until I had multiple employees. And once I grew the employees and I realized like, hey, I'm essentially like my ability to get money is paying for your rent, is paying for your mortgage, is paying for your kids, is paying for your daughter's school. My ability to get money, I have a plethora of responsibility. So when I focus on getting more money and I realize that I'm taking care of your kids because of my ability to get money. Now, what happens when I get out of my standard and I increase my income? Well, I keep my living expenses at the rate that it is, but my money increases, and because of that, I help other people. Now, what you do with the money is up to you. It's up to you. If you want to donate it all to people, then donate it all to people. If you want to take a portion of it for yourself and increase your standard, then that's totally fine. You can increase your standard. So in that example, the way that it would look like is you have 50,000. You currently make 50,000. Let's just say, for an example, you currently make $50,000. You start focusing out to help other people. By you focusing out, you 10x your income, and you go to $500,000. Now you're making $500,000 a year. Now you're flying the first class. You're flying 12 times a year. Organic food, new car. You buy food out, and now you're spending that $500,000. Now, typically, the reason that people achieve that extraordinary result is because they are attached to who it is going to support when they make that money. So typically, the way I've interviewed hundreds of people, and I've recognized that the true way that they actually produce that result is when they were focusing out. So in your plan to acquire more income, you get to put a plan into action that says, hey, who can I help with more money? Who can I help? Doom, boom, boom, with more money. And that is what your target is now. That is where your focus is. It's no longer inward of the experiences that you're going to experience, but it's who can you help. By you focusing out on who you can help, your income will increase. And I'm going to show you that over the next few videos in this training. Your income will increase. But first, I have to get you to understand that it's okay to accept money, not for you, but for other people. See, there's other people who are dependent on you that you have an opportunity to make more money now. And as you go through this training, I'm going to give you a skill set for you to acquire more income. And my invitation to you, and I truly ask that, I can't control who sees this video. I can't control that. My invitation to you is truly to do it in a way that is positive. I'm going to give you some strategies that's really going to implement, that's really going to change your income level. Over the course of this training, as you continue this training over the course of the next few months, I know your income is going to increase. And my invitation to you, my request of you, is that you put that money in a good place, okay? Great. So now, if you focus out, income increases. Because income increases, you get to make choices with that money. So that's what we're going to focus on the next few trainings. So we have a few more trainings coming up aboard, but I wanted to ask you this is what we're going to do for your steps. In your step, you're going to grab your piece of paper. Step number 1. And if you're going through another training simultaneously with this training, because sometimes we do that with the income growth training, we put the income growth training simultaneously with another training, you should already have a notebook. However, if you don't have a notebook, what I want you to do is get a clean notebook specifically for this training, because and what I'm going to share with you, I want it to be and then all in one area. We can't do the loose leaf and find the paper and write down notes. We got to put it all in one area so that way you're going to go back, because throughout the training there's going to be references back to the first video, to the second, to the third, to the fourth, and to the fifth, sixth, and seventh video. So there's going to be continuous references, and that you get to continually go back and forth. So grab a notebook that's completely clean. And your step what you're actually going to do for homework, that's what we call homework here, is action steps. What you're going to do is you can ask yourself, and you're going to write down, who can I help when I make more money? Who can I help when I make more money? So, but before you even get there, you got to get clear on your target. So you're gonna write down your target money goal. So you're gonna write down the goal that you want to make, how much you want to make in a year's time frame, in a 12-month time frame. Then you're gonna ask yourself, with that money, who can I help? You're not gonna focus on what car I'm gonna buy. You're not gonna focus on the other things. In this training in working with me, I developed and designed based on psychological science of what is an internal and an intrinsic motivator for us to really start producing the results. And if you understand that we as humans innately will literally lift a car up to help someone, then we can produce income to help someone. Now, if we produce that we go from 50K to that $1 million income, don't you think your life will change financially? Don't you think your life will change materially? Oh, 100%. That is going to be a byproduct. But what I'm sharing with you is a true motivational factor that we have as humans to really produce an extraordinary result. So who do you know that you can help? Between now and your next training, I want you to write that down. And you're going to get an email when the content is going to be released to you on your next training. But bear with me, it's just going to be a few days. And over the course between now and the next few days, I want you to write down who you can help. And I want it to be a large list. If you want to make a lot of money, the list has to be large. So if you want to make, 6 figures, you're gonna have to write down, hey, I wanna help Make-A-Wish Foundation. I wanna help the 2 homeless kids down the street go to school. I wanna help my people back home in Haiti. I wanna help the people go to Disney World. I wanna help the kids who have cancer, and I wanna buy them this. I wanna purchase beds for the children, here. I wanna pay for 12 kids to go to college. And you produce that. Now, in the next few videos, I'm going to teach you and give you strategies on how to sell, market, and create products in order for you to really start producing the income that you really want. So you're going to write down your income goal. Then you're going to write down who is it that you want to help, and write down a long list. If you want to make a lot of money, your list has to be long. If you want to make a small amount of money, then your list has to be short. But if you want to make that large money, like you're here for, make a long list. And in this long list, I want you to visualize who you're helping and how you're helping them. Over the course of the next few days, think about this and think about who's really depending on your success. Because what I've recognized is that once you truly understand that, success becomes inevitable. It's very similar to when there's a car accident. You're walking down the street in Times Square and you see a car accident. Boom, 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 a bow! And you look to your right and there's a child literally under the car, suffering, can't breathe. And you just create superhuman strength and you just go in and pick up the car and you go, wah! And the kid runs out. And you say to that person, you said, oh my gosh, I didn't know I could even lift the car up. Well, it wasn't because of the process of lifting the car up that you were focused on. You were focused on making sure that person was safe. That person was okay. And that's how you created that superhuman strength. And that's what we're here focused on, because you're now going to produce superhuman results. And in you producing superhuman results, you get to grow your income. Congratulations, you are complete with your first video training. Now go out there and change the world. I'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye.